There is a moment in many men's lives that arrives quietly. It doesn't come with noise. It doesn't come with warnings. It comes slowly, almost silently. It's the moment a man realizes he made a mistake that cost him someone important. While the relationship was still alive, everything felt normal to him. Her presence felt permanent. Her care felt endless. Her patience felt endless. And because of that, he slowly stopped noticing the things that once meant everything. He stopped noticing the way she waited for his messages, the way she listened when he talked about his problems, the way she tried to understand him even when he made things difficult. At the beginning of the relationship, he appreciated all of it. But over time, familiarity turned appreciation into assumption. He assumed she would always stay. He assumed her love was guaranteed. And when people assume something will always be there, they stop protecting it. Arguments begin. Misunderstandings grow. Small problems that could have been solved with communication become larger with silence. Sometimes pride gets involved. Sometimes anger speaks louder than love. And eventually, the relationship breaks. When the breakup first happens, many men feel something surprising: relief. They feel free. They feel like the pressure is gone. They believe life will become easier now. They tell themselves they'll focus on work, on friends, on their own life. And for a short time, that belief feels true. But time has a way of revealing the truth. Days pass, then weeks, and slowly something begins to feel different. The house feels quieter. The phone feels emptier. The routines feel incomplete. And that's when realization begins. The silence that brings clarity. After a breakup, silence becomes powerful. During the relationship, there were always conversations. Even arguments meant communication was still alive. But after the separation, silence replaces everything. No messages, no calls, no small daily conversations. And that silence creates space for reflection. At first, a man's mind tries to protect his ego. He tells himself the breakup was necessary. He convinces himself that the relationship had too many problems. Sometimes he blames circumstances. Sometimes he blames timing. Sometimes he even blames her. But slowly, memories begin to return. Not just the arguments, but the moments that once made the relationship meaningful. He remembers the times she supported him when things were difficult. He remembers the nights they talked for hours about dreams and plans. He remembers the small gestures of care that once seemed ordinary. The way she asked if he had eaten, the way she worried when he was stressed, the way she believed in him when he doubted himself. These memories arrive unexpectedly. Maybe when he hears a song that reminds him of her. Maybe when he visits a place they used to go together. Maybe when he sees something that brings her image back into his mind. And each memory brings a small realization. The relationship wasn't perfect, but it was real. And slowly, the truth begins to become clear. He didn't just lose a partner. He lost someone who genuinely cared about him, and that realization can feel heavy, because once you understand the value of something after it's gone, regret begins to grow. Accepting the mistakes. Real growth begins when someone stops blaming the world and starts looking inward. For many men, this is the hardest stage, because accepting your mistakes means facing uncomfortable truths. Maybe he realizes he didn't listen when she tried to express her feelings. Maybe he remembers moments when he dismissed her concerns. Maybe he recognizes times when his pride mattered more than her emotions. Sometimes the mistakes were not dramatic. They were small, repeated behaviors, ignoring messages, being emotionally distant, choosing distractions over meaningful conversations, taking her patience for granted. These small things may not seem important in the moment, but over time, they create emotional distance. And relationships cannot survive without emotional connection. When a man truly reflects, he begins to see the relationship differently. he begins to understand that love requires attention. It requires effort. It requires appreciation. Love is not something that survives automatically. It grows when it is nurtured, and it fades when it is neglected. This stage of realization can be painful, but it is also powerful, because once a person understands their mistakes, they gain the ability to change. And change is the only thing that gives regret meaning. Without change, regret is just a painful memory. But with change, regret becomes a lesson. The fear of reaching out. After realizing his mistakes, another challenge appears: fear. He begins thinking about her again. He wonders how she is doing. He wonders if she still thinks about him. And sometimes he feels a strong desire to reach out, to apologize, to explain, to tell her that he understands now. But fear begins whispering in his mind. What if she moved on? What if she doesn't want to talk to me? What if I hurt her too deeply? Rejection becomes a terrifying possibility, because this time he understands the value of what he lost, and losing it again would hurt even more. So many men remain silent. They watch from a distance. They check her social media. They wonder about her life. They replay conversations in their minds, but they hesitate to take action. Yet deep down, another truth begins to form. If he truly wants another chance, he cannot remain the same person, because the same behavior will create the same ending. Growth is necessary, not just for the relationship, but for himself. And when that realization becomes strong enough, something changes. He begins considering the possibility of reaching out, not to convince her, not to pressure her, but to speak honestly. The truth about second chances. Second chances are complicated. Sometimes they lead to something beautiful. Two people who once hurt each other grow into better versions of themselves. They learn from the past. They communicate more honestly. They appreciate each other more deeply, and the relationship becomes stronger because of what they experienced. But second chances are not guaranteed. Sometimes the other person has already moved forward. Sometimes the pain created too many scars. Sometimes life simply moves in different directions, and that is a reality many people must accept. But even when a relationship does not return, the lesson remains valuable, because realizing your mistakes is a powerful form of growth. It transforms regret into wisdom. A man who truly learns from his past becomes more emotionally aware. He becomes more patient, more appreciative, more attentive to the people he loves, and that growth changes the way he approaches relationships in the future. Love is not about never making mistakes. Every human being makes them. What truly matters is what someone learns afterward. Do they repeat the same patterns, or do they grow from the experience? Because in the end, relationships are not defined by perfection. They are defined by understanding, effort, and growth. And sometimes, the most powerful change in a man's life begins the moment he finally realizes what he lost and decides to become better because of it. Before you leave this video, take a moment and think about this. Every relationship teaches us something. Sometimes the lesson comes through happiness, and sometimes it comes through regret. But the real question is not whether we made mistakes. The real question is what we do after realizing them. Do we ignore the lesson and repeat the same patterns again? Or do we grow into someone better, someone wiser, someone who understands the true value of love and connection? Because the truth is, the strongest people are not the ones who never make mistakes. The strongest people are the ones who learn from them. And if this video helped you see relationships from a deeper perspective, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here on Pure Wisdom, we explore the hidden psychology of relationships, human behavior, and the lessons that make us stronger. Also, tell me in the comments, do you believe people deserve a second chance in love, or should the past always stay in the past? I read every comment, and your story might help someone else who is going through the same situation. And remember, sometimes losing something teaches us the value it had all along. I'll see you in the next video. If you want, I can also give you